last review, Simon the Lamb, like I said, it does serve to be a surprisingly remarkable gem in the Precious Moments line. Not only did it be the first to be as an Easter special, but also regards to be considered one of the latest specials aside from like the other Easter specials, with some receptions. Speaking of latest Easter specials, well, let's just get to discussion since there's our second review. If you were born between the 19th and 20th century and, well, after that, Rankin Bass was likely an integral part of your childhood. And while there were and remain a lot of people that maintain that Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is best of the holiday specials, I can actually agree that it was a decent flick for me and my family.
Wahoo! Nothing.
Now, this was the only profitable special of that decade, which followed a string of specials which were, well, let's be nice and call them sometimes weak. But the one I know from my childhood is to be considered one of Rankin Bass's timeless of animated specials, and that's saying a lot. Here Comes Peter Cottontail. Peter Cottontail, a young Easter Bunny who lives in April Valley, dreams of becoming an official Chief Easter Bunny. When the older Chief Easter Bunny retires, he chooses Peter as his successor. However, the reclusive January Q Irontail wants the position as well, seeking to revenge himself upon children everywhere with the destruction of his tail. He proposes he and Peter have a competition to see who can deliver the most eggs. Due to his own carelessness and Irontail's meddling, Peter oversleeps and loses his job. Luckily, he meets a strange man named Seymour Sassafras and a French caterpillar pilot named Antoine. Together, they gave him access to a time machine called the Yestermorrowmobile so Peter can set things right. Unfortunately, Irontail was there with the intention of thwarting him every step of the way. As a child, I first watched the special on the 1993 video cassette, and my thought was, wow, that was really something for an Easter special. To be a fair of, I can't check to hide that the animation is weak. I mean, sure that stop-motion animation is popular over the years, and I think this team always does a wonderful job. But nothing can beat stop-motion from other studios I know, like Aardman for Wallace and Gromit and Chicken Run, and for one of Tim Burton's masterpieces like The Nightmare Before Christmas. Now, what about my opinion of the character voices? To be curious, my discussion may blow you away of how I enjoyed them in this special. I mean, the voices are just so phenomenal. It's really surprising how Danny Kaye voiced 3 of the characters Sassafras, Colonel Bunny, and Antoine. But I can consider that Sassafras is the greatest out of all the narrators in the Rankin Bass special. Like Hewy Toomore said on his review of Peter Cottontail, he has a magical veil of Mary Poppins and the whimsical charm of Willy Wonka. Even though he's happily charismatic, imagine if he was like a friendly pen-linked salesman in your neighborhood and you can just slam the door in his face every time he comes to the door.
I represent the Excelsior Appliance and Appurtenance Company Incorporated with a complete line of household appliances and Is the lady of the house in?
No!
Like I said, I can't check to hide that this guy is weak, and yeah, he is the greatest out of all the characters in this special. And you know what's also great? Designer Paul Coker Jr. made some rarely designed artwork of him to promote this special. I mean, come on, think of a special that doesn't have Sassafras in it. I thought so. With Vincent Price, who voiced Irontail, like Hewy said, he's one of the meanest rodents that Price ever voiced. Not only did he voice Irontail, but he also voiced other animated villains like Professor Ratican from The Great Mouse Detective and Zigzag from The Thief and the Cobbler. And I know for one bit, his looks are kinda similar to Adolf Hitler, only without the mustache. Wait, did that give too much away? But you know what else I'm fine with? Mostly it's some of the hilarity in the special, like in every scene Peter tells a fib and his left ear droops down his head. That really cracks me up when I was little, and so do you. Another curious bit is when during the song If I Could Only Get Back to Yesterday, like Hewy questioned, Peter was supposed to go back in time to fix everything, and how is going forward in time would solve anything. Speaking of that word, back in time, just try replacing the song with Hewylewis and the News' single Back in Time, and that would be really catchy for Hewy if he's watching this.
Tell me, doctor, where are we going this time? Is this the 50s or 1999?
When the special broadcasted on April 4th, 1971, I can agree that a lot of critics praised it for the memorable characters, the unbelievable stop motion, and how delightful the songs are. In that sense, I actually think the special is great to show to kids and adults, and I think it gets across the story much stronger. Oh, and for all you curious fans who are watching this, please steer clear from the 2005 CGI sequel. Why? Well, let me put it for my reason. The good stuff is, it's unbelievable how it had an incredible voice cast like Tom Kenny from SpongeBob, Roger Moore, Christopher Lloyd, Molly Shannon, Miranda Cosgrove, and Kenan Thompson, and the original songs from Big Guru are nicely legitimate, but in a brand new way of listening to music. But mostly for the week, some of the characters almost don't pay tribute to the original classic, and somehow the logic wouldn't comprehend that some sense that's being unimaginative. But I wouldn't say it's bad. I mean, it does have some good legitimate story and some decent computer animation, and somehow enabled the original classic and taken it to the 21st century, so even if you like it or not, I'd probably recommend you would stay away if you're curious. So, on the whole, Here Comes Peter Cottontail for me is literally one of Rankin Bass's timeless of their animated specials, and I can agree there are some very unique ways of delivering its story and its message. Like Hewy said, the stop motion's top notch, the voices are phenomenal, especially when it comes to both Danny Kaye and Vincent Price, and it shows just how overshadowed Easter is when compared to other holidays I know and love. Not only did it be the first Easter special that Rankin Bass has done, but almost a few years later they created 2 more Easter specials like the first Easter Rabbit from 1976 and the Easter Bunny is Coming to Town from 1977. And I would mention that this special will be reviewed later, if I can get some time to discuss that. And like I said before, the stuff that's good in this special is a real bona fide childhood landmark. Even if I'm a Rankin Bass fan or if I watch it a few more times, I still hold it deeply in my memories, and I'm hoping that my Easter will be bright and gay for always, and yours will be too. So my final rating is 8 out of 10. Now I bet you are wondering, what's the next special that I'll review next week? Well, you might be lucky, because on April 15th, we're going to the year 2004 to see how Charles Dickens' classic holiday tale gets Easter themed and will feature a cast of veggies. So, thanks again and we'll see you on next review.